Yeah, my conversations with Vlogko have always been really honest, and he's been really great with, letting me know what my role is going to be. I think at this point, I'm just really thankful to get the opportunity to be into camp. And anytime I get an opportunity, I obviously just want to seize the moment and do the best that I can. I think it's obviously a really, really competitive environment, and everyone's really special or has something that makes them really special. And, this is my first big tournament, but I do know that obviously with so many games in such a short amount of time, hopefully hopefully I will get a chance and I'll be able to, show what I can do. But I'm very understanding of what my role is, and I'm just really, really happy to be here. And then in terms of Mexico and playing against Mexico potentially and going to Mexico for qualifiers, I'm really, really excited. I think it's kind of like a full circle, a little bit of a journey for me. My family still lives in Mexico, and so they're going to be at qualifiers, and I haven't seen them since I was a senior in college. So it's like very special for me. My dad's coming. He's going to be able to spend time with his family as well. And I know that they'll be wearing U.S. jerseys, so that's pretty cool too.
Nice.
All right, please raise your hand. Questions for Soph, but I have a question. Where's your dad's family from in Mexico?
They're from Puebla.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coming. Well, that was
Yeah.
fun. All right, we'll go to Meg Linehan, and please raise your hand for questions after Meg. Go ahead, Meg.
Hey, Sophia, just in terms of what we saw in Colorado, the difference between the first and the second half, you coming on, what were the main takeaways for the team in terms of breaking down Colombia? Obviously a very, very low block, especially in the first half. Where were the successful changes made, especially when you were on the field, do you think?
Yeah, well, I think if you look back at that first half, we actually had a lot of opportunities. So I think we were actually exposing them pretty well, and we just didn't finish, or we made some not the best decisions. But I think we had the opportunities, and that's just going to happen when you're playing against a team who's in a low block. It is hard to break them down, but I actually think we did, and we didn't lose any hope that we were going to score. Right in the start of the second half, we had some good opportunities. Obviously, Rose had 2 amazing assists to Soph, and then, of course, Pino's assist to Taylor. But I think it's just difficult to play teams like that. And as long as we continue having hope that we're going to get the goals and not get frustrated, I think, obviously, no one can really keep up with us if we continue to just go at them. But I feel like actually something I really noticed, and I think we noticed as a team, I feel like some of the people who came in as game changers really, really stepped up and realized what they needed to do when they came on. Ashley Sanchez, Taylor, Christy, Pino, they did such a great job at coming in and realizing where the space was. When you play a team like that, and sometimes you notice they have a high line, it's not too difficult. You just need to find a way to get behind them and make things happen. So, again, I think we actually did a good job. We just need to obviously finish and, just continue believing that we'll get the goals.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thanks, Meg. Before we get to Jason Anderson, I have a question for Soph. Can you speak to because you got your first cap there, and then a bit later you get your 13th. Can you speak to the difference in your mindset between those 2 days?
Oh, yeah. The mindset was completely different. Obviously, when I first got my cap in 2017, it was interesting circumstances. I'd been training with the national team for 3 months before my papers had been, processed, and I was able to make the one-time switch. And then even in that game specifically, Jill had communicated to me that I was going to get in, but then Taylor Smith had gone down with an injury pretty early on in the second half. So I can say this now, looking back, I just wasn't prepared. And I was really nervous going into that game, and you can see it on my face. And obviously that was the first time I'd ever played outside back, minus the training caps before the game. So I was really, really nervous. And, I was really excited actually to go to Colorado. I just think with my story specifically, it's really, I don't know, it's amazing to me that, I was on the team. I obviously wasn't on the team for a while, and then I was able to get back on to the team, with hard work and obviously working on my game, but more so my mental side. And so going into the last game in Colorado for my 13th cap, I was just very excited and obviously have a different mindset. I'm more comfortable with where I'm at, not just position-wise, but just mentally. I feel comfortable being here, and I'm confident that I'm meant to be here. And so it was actually like really exciting, and I like loved playing there. And you knew that it was my, I was returning to where I got my first cap, so that was really special for me too.
Well said. All right, let's go to Jason Anderson. Go ahead, Jason.
Hi, Sophia. Thanks for speaking with us today. I wanted to ask a little about the role of a right back with the national team right now. It seemed like in this first game of this set of games, the fullbacks were not so much, the traditional out on the touchline, getting high out there and providing all the width. It seemed like a lot of the time from both sides it was to be in the half space, which I feel like kind of dovetails with your past as an attacking midfielder or as a winger. I was wondering if you could speak to the expectation of what you're supposed to be doing when you get forward, where Vlatko wants you to be, and what you're supposed to do from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it depends on where we're at in the field. Are we like in our defensive end, building out? Are we in the middle field higher? But I think for the most part, when it's on your side, you want to get high. Especially playing with a 5-back, we want to, get their fullback out so we can make room in those pockets for our midfielders and our forwards. So the way I look at it is when it's, with my right center back, I want to get as high as wide as possible. But when it's on the other side, I need to, be inside so I can be ready for countermeasures. Just because, that's kind of what we're trying to do here. We want to just go, go, go. And, when we lose possession or, we get a shot and then the ball ricochets back out, I want to be able to start our attack again. And so I need to be in a good position to do that. But I really enjoy the outside back position. I think it totally caters to my qualities, and I love that I'm able to get high and contribute to the attack, but that also I'm, can help defensively when they are on transition and whatnot. So that is how I would explain the role of an outside back. How'd I do?
Fantastic. Did you feel a switch flicked maybe during the latter part of last season with the rain as far as being in that position?
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Did like a switch flick on for you?
Yeah. I think, obviously like my situation was so interesting playing outside back with the national team, not really ever having experience there. And then I just felt like, I really did feel like I could be good there. I just was really never, of course I was given opportunities, but I just never felt like I was given a chance to really perfect that position. Yeah. And then so when I went to Australia and I played 14 games there, I really got comfortable. And so I knew that if I ever was asked to play in that position again, I would be fine. And so when Laura called me and said, hey, I think we're going to move you to outside back, I said, perfect. I know how to play there now, so should be good. I know how to play there now.
It's a good life lesson. Nothing happens overnight.
Exactly.
Looks like Jonathan Tannenwald has another one. Go ahead, JT.
I do, thanks. To go back a little bit to the Mexico game in the group stage, and I know there might be potentially 2 games in the tournament. That first one, with all the hype and attention that there's going to be around it down there, and what the atmosphere is going to be potentially like down there, because Tigres has such a huge fan base and all that. What's it going to be like for you personally walking into that? What do you think it's going to be like for this team that rarely ever plays in an atmosphere quite like that?
Right. No, you have such a good point. Even in their league games, they get a lot of fans. There's a huge fan base for women's soccer there, which is a surprise to me because I felt actually when I played on Mexico, that was something that was lacking. And it's like obviously so great to see that they have so much support. And I think it's going to be difficult. We are going to have probably a sold out crowd with everyone cheering against us. And that's not something we're used to. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last time we were in this situation, Mexico.
You are right.
Mexico beat the US in 2011, right? And so 2010, sorry. So obviously it is difficult, but I think what the staff has done well and what some of the veterans on the team have done well is explaining to everyone on the team that this is something we're going to face, and just having that awareness and knowing that, it's going to be loud. People are going to be cheering against us. Like, that's something we can handle. Maybe it's not something we're used to, but this is such good practice for us. Obviously, if and hopefully when we qualify for the World Cup, this is just something that will prepare us for it. And then for me personally, I'm just like so excited. Again, I don't know exactly what my role will be on that day, but I'm just so excited that, I trusted my gut and in terms of making that decision and switching to the US. A lot of people question that. A lot of people close to me question that. I sometimes question that. But obviously, I made the right decision because I'm here where I know I'm meant to be. And I'm just obviously really excited that it all came true.
And that is a great way to end. Thanks so